Welcome to the MEF2C cast, a podcast dedicated to educating, supporting, and building community around MEF2C haploinsufficiency syndrome.
The MEF2 cast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and not necessarily of the podcast or its sponsors. This is not medical advice. Consult a healthcare professional for medical concerns.
Alrighty, welcome to the MEF2C cast. I'm Eli. I'm here with my wife Haley. We're your hosts, and we're here with Becky and Brandon Janes. They're here to talk about their son Bodie, who has MCHS. So, could you start by just telling us a little bit about your family, as much or as little as you want to, and we'll go from there?
Yeah, sure. So we have two older girls, Brooklyn and Bristol. They're 9 and 7. So that was kind of our experience with parenthood started there.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of decided we wanted another one, maybe a boy. So we decided to try for one more and quickly was pregnant with Bodie. And he was born in May 25th, 2021. And I think I had like a normal pregnancy. There was nothing different about my pregnancy. Nothing.
Everything was normal right up to about almost a year.
Yeah, I guess.
6 months, 8 months.
Yeah. So I guess I always noticed something was different, even when he was a baby. So I picked up on just like small things. I noticed that he would never hold eye contact with us really or interact with us the way that other babies would at kind of that age, like 3-4 months. And his hands were always in his mouth. His hands were always in his mouth. And I know that babies do that and like they chew their hands and stuff, but I always thought like this is very like exaggerated. But it kind of was around like 5 or 6 months that I really noticed that he wasn't able to do the normal milestones that a baby would be meeting at that age. And like he wasn't able to hold his head up and he wasn't able to sit up. And he just seemed kind of floppy, like a floppy baby.
Yep.
So we have a friend that works in pediatric physiotherapy at our hospital. So I got into her, like we just did a self-referral and we started to see her. And then she said, well, I think you guys should see occupational therapy too. So we started to see them. And then it was like, he seems really behind, like speech-wise, like babbling, like he wasn't doing any of that.
So sorry
speech
to interrupt you. At this
at all.
point, you just
That's okay.
assumed there was some sort of developmental delay or something. That's okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
a delay.
Right.
But then, like, as he got older, probably like 8, 9, 10 months old, it was like he was really behind. Like, he wasn't anywhere near where he should be. So I think it was like around a year. Do you think it was around a year when we, like, he was just sitting up, like, I think at a year old.
Yep.
Which usually at a year old, like, a child is like kind of starting to crawl and like,
Almost
maybe
nearly
pull up
walking
on
somewhere.
furniture. Usually like, yeah, starting to try to walk. But I think we just kind of kept like brushing it off to like, he's a boy. So he's just behind. That's kind of like what we always got. And that's what I got from the doctor too, was he's just a boy, he's just behind or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. I just felt like there was something off. So I don't really remember what sort of pushed for us to be referred to a pediatric neurologist. But we were referred there to a pediatric neurologist, and he agreed that there was something developmentally there, and because he was so behind at that point. So we did some genetic testing, and I think it came back probably 3 or 4 months later, and that was April 2023. And yeah, it came back. At first, the neurologist said his diagnosis is, I can't remember what he said, global developmental delay. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, that seems really broad. Like, what is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that fall under global developmental delays. I'm like, there's got to be something. So he finally did call me. I had to wait the weekend, and he finally did call on a Monday, and he actually sent me the brochure, the unique brochure, with, I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's like it basically describes MEF2C. And he sent me that, and I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Bodie to a T. Everything we read in that brochure was Bodie, like to a T.
Yeah,
And
that's interesting you say that. So we went to the meeting in Boston, and you walk
Yeah.
into a room that's
Yeah.
full of kids with MCHS. You know, if you're familiar with one and they're the only one you know, and then you're suddenly, it's so weird how
It
like
would be.
literally just,
Even their hums
yeah,
that
the
they make.
particular noises they
Really?
make, the way they move, everything.
Yeah.
There's almost just like this, like a vibe to them that you can pick up on instantly. So it's interesting that you
It
read
would
that
have
right
been.
away and you were like, oh, that's
Yeah.
Bodhi to a T. Because even like
Yeah.
Leo has very specific toys he likes, and we
Yeah.
talked to several other parents that were like, oh yeah, we went through that phase with that toy. My mom
Yeah.
has a drum that I had when I was a baby that
Okay.
Leo likes, that now we have like 3 of because my mom hunted them down on eBay. And we were talking
Really?
to another parent, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we had that toy. We don't." It's like, you know what I mean? Something
Yeah.
is sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Obscure as that. But
Mhm.
sorry, you can keep going. I just
No,
thought that
that's
was interesting.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it definitely is. Like we did meet up with we were connected with another um family that is in New Brunswick, which we were like so surprised that there was
Mhm.
another child in New Brunswick that had MEF2C. And sorry, do you call it MC? What do you call it?
We do both. We call it
Okay.
MCHS and we
Okay.
call it MEF2C.
But yeah, we were connected with another family, and we met them, and he's like 7 days apart from Bodhi in age. It was just so crazy to see the two of them together, like the
That's
way
so
that
cool.
he moved and the things that
Mhm.
he did. It was just wow. Like it was almost like Bodhi was in a mirror. You know, it was so weird. It was really crazy. And I thought that they would like kind of like connect and maybe play, but they were, of course, in their own little world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
Leo looks through kids literally
yeah,
like they're not even there, kids his
yeah,
age. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
kind of amazing actually.
yeah.
What was it like? Was it difficult for you guys to get a genetic diagnosis, or was it pretty pain-free?
It was pretty pain-free, really.
Gotcha.
Once the referrals went through, it was just,
Yeah.
we went up to Halifax. Was it?
That we went to the IWK to meet with a geneticist, and like the appointment was to explain
Right.
what it was, but it was like, yeah, we don't really know much about it either.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
here's some more information. I think they gave us like a study that was maybe done on
Mhm.
some children, and it had some different percentages of like, you know, how many children have seizures, and you know how many children can talk. And but that was really it. There was
That's
no
honestly
really
more information than
information.
we received. They gave us the website to the European
Okay.
foundation, and
Yeah.
that's all we got. That's like he was like, if
Really?
you guys have any information, we can meet again in 3 months and you can basically tell us
Wow.
what you found.
Oh
And yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't even the fault. The geneticist was great. I
Yes.
really liked him,
Yeah,
but
he
it
was.
was
Mhm.
just, he can't spend all his time hunting down stuff like that, and this is so
That's
obscure.
right.
But yeah, I was just curious because here in the US, our healthcare system, for better or worse, is a lot different than
Yeah,
yours.
it
And it can be
is.
pretty challenging. We got lucky. I don't know how, but they ran
Yeah.
it, and it covered it, and we got it pretty pain free. But some
Yeah.
other people have had a difficult time getting that approved by their insurance. So I was just curious about that. What delete or what variation does he have? Is it a variation or a deletion, or do you
He has
remember?
deletion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have an autism diagnosis as well, or just the MCHS?
Just the MCHS
Gotcha.
diagnosis. Yeah.
Have you ever tried to get an autism diagnosis too? Does it make a difference in Canada? Because I know in the US, like a lot of times it would makes a difference in the services that you can receive. That
Not here, I find it's so different everywhere. Like it's just so
Mhm.
different, even province to province, it's different here. But no, like I don't think we've ever like explored the autism side of it. But we do have like a family supports for children with disabilities program in New Brunswick. He, without a doubt, qualified for that very easily because he does have, you know, delays and disabilities. So we have that. we have a disability tax credit that we get as well. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've never explored any other diagnosis.
Gotcha. Here again with the private healthcare system, because MHCS is so obscure that you tell the insurance, Leo has MCHS, and they're like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
autism and sort of, kind of how you talked about how global developmental delay is the super broad category of
Yeah.
sort of developmental disorders.
Yeah.
Autism, from what I can tell, obviously I'm not a doctor, it's similar as well, where like there's all these different things that fall into autism and it's diagnosed symptomatically. There's no like test they can run in for sure tell you have autism. So there's so much overlap between the symptoms of MCHS and the symptoms of autism that we were able to get him diagnosed. It took us a couple tries. The point being, if you have an autism diagnosis, a lot of doors open up for you because the insurances know how to handle that.
Okay.
So again, that's not the only reason that we got it, but it was very helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
What was it like when you guys got the diagnosis? Did it feel like relief? Did it feel overwhelming?
For me, it was a bit of both. It was like a relief, but I just remember crying. Like I was really upset. But
Definitely not something you want to hear.
yeah,
Right,
but it was a relief to know
right.
what it is, like
Sure.
what he has.
Yeah.
Because then you feel like
Good
more
idea what
prepared.
to expect.
Yeah.
Right.
More prepared, and like you feel like you're able to you just know more. You have more knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
You can set
so
expectations and
yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was definitely a mix of a lot of feelings, and I think we still feel a mix of a lot of feelings with it. Like
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
this diagnosis for, almost 2 years, I guess now. And yeah, it's still like a lot of feelings.
And for me, I have a hard time with, like, I want to take him hunting, fishing.
Man,
Yeah.
believe me.
Bodie does like going on the four-wheeler, like
Okay,
he
gotcha.
likes looking at the trees
He
and
does.
just,
Oh yeah.
he is very calm on the four-wheeler.
Uh-huh.
It's just gonna be different, that's all.
Yeah.
Does he like to be outdoors?
Yeah.
He
loves
does,
it.
yeah.
Mm,
He
How about
loves the
water?
water.
yes. Yep.
Water, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be a big thing among all of them is like water, that there's
Right,
like a
yeah.
fascination with water.
But what kind of toys does he like?
He's not really big on toys. He doesn't
Just-
play with the average, like,
Those chewy things, and he just goes to town on those chewy things.
Really?
yes, the chewies,
Yeah,
those are
I
his
have
favorite thing.
What do you mean by chewies?
Like almost like a
Social.
teether. He gave
Oh,
a
okay. Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Or like the teether ones, but they're more rugged. I think they're special need toy.
He still chews them right off.
He loves those. But as far as toys, he doesn't really play with like blocks or anything like that.
Yeah.
Does he like things that light up or
He
mute?
does like
He has a
It's like-
watermelon toy that he plays with.
Yeah. What about music? Does he like music?
he loves music.
Yes,
He
that's
loves
another-
Cocomelon. We have
Cocomelon.
to like constantly, like if we go on a drive, we have to have like Cocomelon connected to the car or his tablet or
Mhm.
something. He loves it. Even at bedtime, if he won't calm down, I have to sing to him. Like,
Mhm,
Yep.
he
mhm.
loves music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cocomelon is his jam.
That seems to be another common thing.
Super
Le-
simple.
yeah, super simple.
Yeah.
A lot of kids really like that. Leo likes like weird. I mean, not weird, but weird for a 2.5-year-old to like. Like he really likes Johnny Cash and Hank Williams Sr. and like kind of anything with like that rockabilly, like boom chicka
Yeah.
beat. He loves.
Yeah.
A lot better than listening to Cocomelon.
You guys are lucky.
But I think it's kind of that percussive aspect of it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He
Yeah.
likes that. Does he like roughhousing? Like
Flip him upside down the couch and just
He loves that.
Uh-huh.
Throw him on the couch, upside down. Like he loves very exaggerated movements, big
Right.
movements.
Mhm.
He has a bouncy chair still, like those baby bouncy chairs you put your
Yep.
baby in.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Still has his bouncy chair, and I think he'll have that
he's on
forever.
his third one.
He's
He
broke so many.
He's on his third one.
We actually you can get them online, and I think there's even a Canadian site for like a special needs bouncer.
Mhm.
And it's like a baby bouncer, but it is like gigantic. So
It's rugged, yeah. Do you guys have one?
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Because Leo's big. He's
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably the size of a 4-year-old.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he like blew out his baby bouncer when he was a baby, and we ended up getting him that one. So it's
Yeah.
unfortunately, like with a lot of special needs stuff, it's pretty expensive for what it is,
Yeah.
but he really enjoys it.
Uh,
Um, I think you told me when we were talking about doing the interview that he's walking. Is that correct?
Yeah, he just started walking last year, but
Gotcha.
he's only been walking for, I want to say like 6 months. Yeah, about 6 months and like walking well. Like before he would take steps and stuff to us, but he was never able to just kind of walk around on his own. But he is, yeah, he boogies now. Like he is, and I thought that he would be a lot later. I was expecting maybe like 4 or 5, but I was really surprised when he started walking.
You do like PT and OT outpatient.
Yeah, we do that monthly. So we
Oh,
get like one appointment a month with them.
Your
And
little fellow walking.
no, not
Not
yet.
quite. No.
He'll if we trick him, he can take a step or two, but not yet. He's there. We're that
yeah,
close. Now, does
yeah,
Bodie have any type of like bracing like for his ankles or anything like that?
yeah, he has SMOs
Okay.
Mhm.
and those seem to really help give him like the stability that he needs because otherwise his feet are starting to turn in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So he's very like flat-footed and um I don't know why his feet just kind of turn inward and we don't
Did
want
he
that. So
did he ever use like a walker or anything like that?
we did try a walker for a little while. Um he didn't like it.
Mhm.
He didn't like it. So it was a lot of just kind of like holding his hand,
Gotcha.
walking. Yeah,
Was there any so before he walked, did he just crawl for a long time?
he did crawl
It
for
was
it.
very, very gradual, like getting to the point where he's comfortable walking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kind of like,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then you grab his hands and he's good to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
just needs that reassurance that
Yeah.
he's gonna be all right.
The
Like, does your
confidence.
little fella like really timid of doing certain things? We have a step that he just like he's so cautious around certain things like steps and even like a grate in the floor, like he'll kind of be timid of it and
Yeah, he is cautious.
Yeah, I would say a little bit. It's if he needs to step like up or like over a like the part on a gate or so like a baby
Yeah.
gate, he'll stop and he has to think about it before he can
Yeah.
actually get over.
Yeah.
And I feel like that the issue of walking is compounded by the communication issues too, because I think he's capable of walking right now, but
Mhm.
we can't encourage him in the right way
Mhm.
to say like,
Yeah.
you try to make him walk on his own and he just plops down on his butt.
Yeah.
And we can't say like, stay up, try, you know what I mean? And I think if we
Yeah.
could communicate with him properly, he could progress a lot faster.
Yeah.
Was there any particular thing you guys found in, like, therapy that was, like, a breakthrough when it came to walking or anything, or was it just pretty gradual?
Well, not really. I can't really like pinpoint anything. I think it was more just like
I think he decided.
yeah, like it was
Yeah.
more just at his pace. Like,
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like yeah, he needed to figure out the sitting up on his own. Once he did that, then it was like, okay, I have to figure out how to stand. And then it was he figured out how to stand up, pull himself up, and he could do that for a long time. Like he could stand up things. And then from there it was kind of like, okay, can I stand here without falling over? And then it was the balance part. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
so yeah, it was kind of just like a gradual thing, but it just took like a lot longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't really pinpoint anything that we did or anything that would have helped him. I think it was more just kinda waiting for him to decide kind of when am I gonna do this.
How old is your guys?
He'll just about 2.5, yeah. You said Bodie uses flashcards to communicate? You said you guys were
Yeah,
working on that?
we've been trying out the flashcards. That's really the only way that he can communicate right now is with
Mhm.
the flashcards, but it's only food, so
Okay.
he's a big foodie, so we have pictures of all his favorite snacks, and he can go and pick out which one he wants. So, like,
Mhm.
I'll lay them out on the floor or the couch or whatever, and I'll say, "Which one do you want, Bodie?" He'll grab for whatever one he wants. So then I kind of know, okay, you want goldfish or you want bear paw or whatever it is. He does really good with that. Well, but that's really the only form of like communication that we kind of have with him besides just knowing him, knowing his
Yeah,
needs and his
exactly.
behaviors and just the way that he's acting. You're like, yep, I know that he needs this.
Right, yeah.
Or if you come out and he's sitting on the table waiting for something to eat.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried an AAC at all with him, like an iPad or anything?
Not yet. I mentioned it to our speech therapist, and she said the first step is the cards, being able to use these flashcards. And if he's able to kind of pick or point or grab a card, then sort of the next step would be maybe a device with some pictures that he's able to like press.
Right,
So
yeah.
that is the next step for us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Does he feed himself?
In a sense, yeah, he can somewhat feed himself, not with like a spoon or a fork.
Mhm,
But he can pick up his own snacks, bite size, like toddler size snacks.
mhm.
And he can feed himself. We have to any kind of meal, we have to feed it to him because otherwise he just like shoves it all in. And there was some choking issues for a while when he was younger. He would kind of gag and choke on a lot of things. But now he's pretty good. He doesn't have the pinch or grasp yet, but he can definitely grab things and put it in his mouth. So
He does a lot of raking motion with his hands then to
he
pick things up.
does, yeah.
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 Comes over and hoovers on all up.
He loves snack food. Like he loves goldfish. Cheese is his absolute favorite. Bear paws, berries, pizza.
Do you like bananas?
Likes bananas.
Yeah.
Kind of picky on the bananas.
So, yeah,
He will eat them once
he
in a
will,
while if
yeah.
he's hungry.
Yeah.
That seems to be another common theme of MCHS and general autism as well. Like Leah would eat bananas until he exploded if we let him.
Really? Oh,
He gets two every morning. He gets so excited for them.
wow.
We'll give him like choices in the morning for his breakfast and we'll like hold things up, or we have cards as well that we let him pick from.
Yeah.
And every single time it would be a banana.
Yeah, it's the illusion of choice.
We know.
It's making him practice making choices, but
Yeah.
we know he wants to
Exactly.
make them. How does he sleep?
He sleeps actually pretty well.
I think when he hits a milestone,
Yeah.
he's up like
Mm.
at 2 in the morning going like, all right, I want to do what I
Yeah.
figured out.
He will have that like about I say like once a month. He has like a week or like several days where he goes to bed on time, but he wakes up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and he is ready for the day. Like there's
Yeah.
you're not getting him back to sleep. You're not rocking him. He's awake, he's ready. Let's go do what we're doing. And it's exhausting. Like
Yes.
it's exhausting. We lay on the couch, we take turns. Like it's your turn. I did it last time. And he usually just bops around watching Cocomelon and we just kind of lay there on the couch half
Try to
dead.
get
But
whatever rest you can.
yeah, he
Leo's
does
kind of the
sleep
same.
well.
I wouldn't say Leo sleeps well at all.
No.
No, we are in the trenches right now.
Oh no, that's tough.
He'll like you said, like between 1 and 3, it's
Yeah.
like almost a guarantee that he's waking up. And we call them parties because he'll party for 2, 3, 5 hours and
Yeah.
then he'll, go back out
Gosh.
nap. Yeah. And it's usually like an hour or 2 that he'll nap and then
Yeah.
he's up for the day after that.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
We did
worse
that a lot too.
when he was younger.
Yeah.
Mm,
Now that he is a little bit older, it is better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I find like he needs to get his energy out because he goes to daycare because we work and like they're very busy there. So I feel like because he's so busy and has that routine at daycare, he's tired at night and he
Yeah.
does sleep through. But when he was younger, it was very unpredictable sleep. Sleep was one thing that scared me when I read about that was that the sleep disturbances and like lack of sleep. And
Yeah.
that was one thing I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Luckily, knock on wood, right now, he sleeps pretty decently.
Yeah, our shift changes at 4 a.m. So if he's up later than 4 a.m., it's my job. If it's before 4 a.m., it's hers.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I could get up at 4 and not have any issues with the rest of the day, but 1, 2 o'clock, and I'm pretty
Right.
well.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what we figured out. Like he'll wake up early and like get the day started, but I can do that party in the middle of the night, and then I
Yeah.
can take a 1 or 2 hour nap before work and then be good to go. So that's why
Exactly,
at
yeah.
4 a.m., like I'm waking him up. I'm standing outside the bedroom
That's a
door
good idea.
until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do environmental inspection on oil and gas, so I'm hiking all
Okay.
day, and it's a lot harder for me, even if I get the same amount of sleep, if it's not continuous, like, I just can't do what I need
Yeah.
to do at work.
Yeah.
She does pharmacy stuff, which is, obviously difficult in its own way too, but it's not
Yeah.
as physically demanding, so she can get away with
Yeah.
sort of spreading the sleep out a little more. Um,
Yeah.
is Bodie in school yet?
He only goes to daycare,
Okay, gotcha.
so I don't know when he's ready for school. I think like next year maybe. But I think we have the option to either like keep him back. That's here in New
Which we
Brunswick.
don't know, like, if keeping them back is gonna do anything,
Yeah.
or should we just send them, or like, it's one of those things. One would think that it'd be the best thing for him, really,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Right.
being with all the other kids and just
Yeah.
like getting them tired out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The routine and even just the socialization, even if they don't care that other kids are around,
Yeah.
they're
Mhm.
paying attention. Whether we think they're
Yeah.
paying attention or not, they're paying attention.
It's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any trouble finding a daycare or anything like that?
We were really lucky with daycare. And I know a lot of people here do struggle finding a daycare just here in New Brunswick.
Mhm.
Spots are like really limited, but our kids were already going to this daycare and like we had him signed up and we kind of expressed like our concerns and stuff with the owner of the daycare, and they were ready to take him on and kind of figure out what he needed. So we were really lucky, and our daycare has been amazing. He has a one-on-one worker. It's
Oh,
an inclusion
yeah,
support worker,
gotcha.
and do so much with him. Like they'll do anything that his physio and OT and speech recommends. They've gotten different types of furniture and different
Mm,
toys and things there for him to help him. And his daycare has really been like I think the daycare has made a huge impact on his progress and where he's at.
gotcha.
And
That
just been around all his peers and stuff.
so again, I'm not sure with kind of the differences between countries. Is that uh some sort of is that through the government, the daycare, or is it a private daycare?
So it's a designated daycare, so it is like under government, but we do have to pay for a spot. But to in order for like a special needs child to have a one-on-one worker, it is funded by the government.
Got okay, yeah.
The daycare does receive funding for him to
Right,
have
that's
a worker.
that's what I was curious about. So that would
Yeah.
basically be the same as what he would have in school here.
Yeah, it's so different everywhere in the US, and then even like province to province, it's very different.
Right, yeah. What do you think are his biggest challenges right now?
Definitely the speech for sure, the
Mhm.
communication, that's the biggest thing. I feel like he wants to tell us something but can't.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 days, he's been really vocal and really kind of like frustrated and cranky.
Yeah, I think he does get frustrated. Because he's like, I'm either hungry or thirsty, but I don't know how to say it. And
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
need it.
Mhm.
But he kind of just goes out in the kitchen and expresses it that way.
Right.
I need something. Just
Yeah.
give me.
Mhm.
Start screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
So
start trying different things to give him, and hopefully one of those are the right thing.
Yeah, that's just
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Start with water, then give him something to eat, and then
Yeah.
that don't work, give him a bottle.
Yeah. He still likes
He
his bottle.
still does the bottles.
Yeah, I mean, that just, on sort of a human level, that loss of autonomy of just not being able to tell someone that you want would have to be incredibly difficult.
We've had times where he'd be like constipated and then
Uh-huh.
like he'd
Yeah.
be just perfectly fine doing normal things, and then he'd just start screeching right out of the blue.
Crying,
Like
yeah.
we're like, what do you want?
Yeah, we just don't know what it is. I think that's the scariest thing is like, I always worry if he's in pain, how would he
Mhm.
tell us, right? If something was really wrong internally, how would he say, my stomach hurts really bad? Or,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing for him, I think right now is the
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of Temple Grandin. She's an autistic woman. She's in her 70s now, but she was, so she was born in like the 40s and 50s when things were
Mhm.
still really sort of primitive about autism. Couldn't speak until she was 3, but now she's like a really accomplished animal scientist and an autism expert. Like most cattle handling facilities, like places that produce beef for most fast food places in North America, she designed those facilities.
Wow.
Anyways, I've heard her talk about before. One of the first things you have to eliminate when you're dealing with a nonverbal person is toothaches, headaches, heartburn, and constipation. Like if they're
Yeah.
just acting really crabby out of nowhere all of a
Mhm.
sudden, she said those are the first things you need to try to deal with because a lot of
Okay.
times that's all it is.
Yeah, that's good to know.
We have to find like check the temperature. Like
Yeah.
if he's warm, then that's a good reason too. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I understand it, with MCHS, because of the low muscle tone, like we only think of it in terms of skeletal muscle, but your intestines are muscles too, and they can't move their food through their
Yeah.
digestive system as quickly, and that can lead to some issues.
Exactly.
and that's where he likes cheese so much.
Believe me, yeah,
Yeah.
I understand most foods are a vehicle for cheese for me.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that like this thing that you found or some sort of strategy, some sort of thing with therapy that was really helpful that you might want to share with people? It's okay to say no.
Nothing really other than like definitely the early intervention, I think made a huge difference. I think that's what made a huge difference was realizing that something was off early on
Mhm.
and going to physio and OT and speech. I think that was kind of the biggest thing. And I think that's what a lot of people say too, is like early intervention is helpful. Cause I often wonder if we hadn't, would he be, how behind would he be?
Right. Yeah, for
I
sure.
also wonder, like, the opposite. Is it making a difference
Yeah.
doing this stuff? Like, it just, is he doing his stuff on his own timeline, or is
Yeah.
like the constant therapy, like, actually
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it doesn't hurt to practice things, but it seems that it may be on some level that it's not actually like you think that, like you're trying to get him to do something and you're trying to teach him how to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
And it could be that he completely understands how to do it. He just
Yeah.
can't make himself do it. And
Yeah.
then at what you know what I mean? So I just worry sometimes that we're just, I know if someone was like, if someone told me to pick up a rock and it was 500 pounds and they just kept going, no, you need to pick up it's like, no, it's not that I don't understand that I need to pick up the rock.
Yeah,
Practice.
exactly.
You gotta practice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that too, and I think, like
Because to us, a small step is a small step, but to them, that is a huge step.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. And small steps end up becoming huge steps to us too because they're so slow.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think too, a lot of it's, like, just accepting that, it's not that he'll never do some of
Mhm.
these things, it's just, like, that he will do them just on his own timeline and
Sure. Yeah.
at his own pace. Yeah, I think a lot of just acceptance that it's at his pace.
Do you find yourselves so again the differences in healthcare systems? People in the U.S. find themselves having to kind of advocate for their kids a lot within the healthcare system. Like I mentioned it
Mm.
earlier, but we got an autism. We tried to get an autism diagnosis, and they basically told us they couldn't diagnose him because he couldn't complete the tests. And it's like so he's so low functioning he can't even do the tests. So
Mhm.
you can't like if I took my car to the mechanic and I said, "My car's not running. Can you fix it?" And he said, "Well, I can't turn it on, so I can't figure it out." It's like, well, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we were fortunate enough to, on our second try, we got the diagnosis. But do you find yourself having to advocate for things in that way, or is it different with um, Canadian healthcare system?
I feel like it's a little bit different. We never really had to advocate or really kind of like fight for anything. It is so different than in the US and even other countries, but we're lucky that we do have the programs that we have here, like family supports for children with disabilities. Like they cover a lot of things and they help with a lot of things. So you don't really have to advocate or like, fight for
Right.
things he needs
Mm.
in that sense.
Do you think there is a link between autism and MEF2C? Is that
That's not real clear to me. Based on what I understand, that MCHS is a form of syndromic autism, meaning that it's a health condition that is, what am I trying to say? That occurs with autism. right? So like
Mhm.
it's a type of autism is kind of how I've interpreted things. But I'm hoping talking to Dr. Cohn and Dr. Chung, we can get some more clarification on that because that's something that I'm kind of
Yeah.
confused on too.
Yeah.
But I do know that a lot of sort of general autism advice is really applicable to Leo, but some of it isn't because he's so specific. And like my mom is a special needs preschool teacher, and
Mhm.
she tells us all the time, like, he's not, she can tell he's autistic, but he's not a typical autistic kid.
Like mellow of autistic,
What do you mean?
like not as autistic as like some of the kids, like
No, I think just like sort of some of the typical behaviors.
I guess.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I feel like Leo is probably more intense than what she's used to. Kind of opposite, I think, of what you may be thinking.
Okay.
So he does a lot of the typical, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Stereotypical.
stereotypical
Mhm.
things, with autistic children.
Like
But
as in everything's gotta be a certain way.
yeah, but like he doesn't necessarily care
And
about that.
and more like the things like you're
Mhm.
talking about, like the hands in the mouth, the wrist flapping, the hand wringing. He makes a lot
Yeah.
of weird
Yeah.
stims and noises.
Yeah.
The things with the chewers, the lights, sort of
Mhm.
like the sensory aspect of it,
Yeah.
is really similar.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the hardest part for you as parents?
The fact that it's for life. We don't know what that's gonna look like.
Mm.
Sure.
The freedom of like you see other parents that are their kids are like 6, 7 years old and they're just but we're
Yeah.
kind of taught. I guess the part of being really limited on family adventures, like the girls suffer
Mm.
because we're like, we got to stay back because Bodie is like not having it. Like he
Mhm.
wants to watch Cocomelon or
Mm.
that aspect of it. That's really hard because the girls pay the price and of course, we aren't spending the time because we're always separating ourselves. We're like, let's all take Bodie and you guys go swimming or
Mhm.
Mhm.
that's the hard part where, I mean, if he was a single child, it wouldn't be, I guess it'd still be hard, but it would,
Yeah.
it's hard in the sense that the girls suffer
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, having 3 kids is hard, period.
And
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
it a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be, like, inclusive and things like that, but there's just certain things that he's
Just
just
don't.
not interested in doing certain things and just
Mhm.
things that, he just couldn't do. Yeah, that part's hard, and it's hard even on a relationship too,
Yeah.
to try to find time because a lot of our time is spent with Bodie and caring for him. It is hard.
Whereas a normal 4 or 5 years old, or you could go outside and just let him run in the field.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They can
But
just go occupy themselves and
but
Pl
Bodie,
you know,
just
play independently.
it's different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have just the one
Yeah.
or
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. We want to have at least one more eventually, but
Yeah.
like you said, it's difficult. But we're also thinking of we don't want we're thinking of life after us for him, and it would be good if he had somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
a big
right.
too.
He's got a cousin that we take care of regularly. We're pretty close with, so he'll have her. But it would just be nice if he had someone else.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
do your other kids handle it well?
Bristol really like kind of is the mother hen, like somewhat be caring to him.
Mm.
Brooklyn, she'll just it doesn't really. She'll just kinda walk by and,
Yeah. But they know
but
that
they
he's
know, like,
different and, like, they're very,
very
like,
respectful of that.
accepting.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really accepting of him and they love him,
And
so.
all the kids at daycare, you come in the morning, they're like, "Bodie's here."
Yeah. Sure.
They love Bodie, so
Right.
that's good.
Yeah. Well, and again, all the MCHS kids that we've met are incredibly bubbly and happy and affectionate,
That's
and
that's a good thing, like, it would
people
be really
like being
hard
around them.
if he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was, like, angry or, like,
Yeah.
hitting it that would be a whole
That would be
different
Right. Yeah.
We're very lucky in that sense.
Yeah, like a really happy boy for sure.
What positive things do you think you've gotten out of having Bodie?
Definitely. I mean, before we had Bodie, I always would look at parents that had special needs kids. And if I was out or out and about, I could never do that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I guess you,
It's a definite eye opener.
yeah.
You find out what you're capable of.
Yeah, you find out what you're capable of. I feel like we've become stronger, I think, because we've been through a lot
Sure.
with his diagnosis and even thinking about the future and stuff. We've definitely become stronger, and it just gives you a different perspective of life when you have a kid that has special needs.
And you always wonder why.
Yeah, yeah.
Why us out of a million
Yeah.
people?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
the thoughts, but
Yeah,
I guess
but I feel like that's a positive too, because there must be a reason, and
Yeah, I feel the same way.
there sometimes you don't feel like there is, and you're frustrated and you're exhausted, but there is a purpose and a reason why we have
I'll
him.
never forget, a guy told me, he said, he really might be a blessing in disguise, and that stuck in my head, and I don't know, like, nobody knows why, but it very well could be
Right. Yeah.
down the road, or he may teach us things that
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah,
Well, and the thing is, if you think that he is, then he is too. You know what I mean? If you
yeah.
choose, you'll never, maybe there's not a reason, you'll never know that there's a reason. But if you
Mhm.
believe there's a reason, then things will fall into place accordingly.
That's very true. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Gotcha. Leo's getting a little fussy here. We're gonna
that's okay.
ask a couple more questions and then wrap it up here. Do you have any advice that you'd give to anyone who maybe just got a diagnosis, is just sort of starting the things that you've gone through?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best advice I was like given was I reached out to a random parent on that group, and I
Gotcha.
just talked to her, and I just had a conversation with someone, and it just kind of put my mind at ease, and just know that like everything's gonna be okay, and they'll meet the milestones at their own pace, at their own time, and it's not a fatal diagnosis, It's
Sure. Yeah.
not, you know, it's
Gotcha.
not it's not bad. It could be worse, I guess.
Yes, it could always be worse.
It could always be worse, but, I guess that's not really the thing to say, but
So, obviously, the Facebook group I think is a huge help for all of us to be able to connect
yeah,
with people. Is
yeah.
there anything else you found, resources from any of the foundations, or anything else that's been helpful?
I haven't found anything else that's been helpful other than the group and connecting with other parents and just having conversations on that group and asking questions there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I found that's the most helpful.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell people about anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Kinda drawing a blank.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Super
Yeah, it was great to talk to you guys, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we could circle back around and have another conversation in the future. You guys have a good day. And
yes, you too.
yep.
Thanks for
Goodbye.
talking, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Take it
See
easy.
ya.